Hey, welcome into Shockerland. I'm Billy. Kyle is here as well. The brackets are out.
Yeah.
We're excited about that, and we want to just do a basic overview real quick. Kyle, let's first talk about who's in and who's out. Were there surprises there? I think there was. Overall, how do you think the committee did?
Overall, picking the teams, I think the committee did a pretty good job.
Yeah, it's a tough job.
It is a
No
tough
doubt.
job,
Yeah.
especially when you're constantly changing the criteria.
Mm-hmm.
But I think overall they did a decent job.
Yeah.
I had a couple problems with mid-majors that were left out, and that's the norm anymore, so I get it. But, I mean, Middle Tennessee and St. Mary's, these are two really good teams.
They are.
And Middle Tennessee didn't get in because they didn't win their non-conference games against good opponents. And St. Mary's didn't get in because they didn't play anybody in the non-conference.
Yeah.
But St. Mary's only had 5 losses the whole season. They were, I believe, top 20, top 25 on Ken Palm. They beat Gonzaga at Gonzaga. And so I feel like those two should have at least been in Dayton.
Yeah, and there were a few that got in that were a little bit of a surprise to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
As great as they were at the beginning of the season, and even beat the Shockers.
Yeah.
Boy, they really struggled towards the end.
Have they won a game in
And
2018?
it's been a problem. It was funny on the selection show on TBS, of all places.
Very funny.
Charles Barkley came after the committee on that one, and straight-faced. Everybody was laughing around him, but he was straight-faced about it, and he was right. Charles Barkley was right on that. Oklahoma, boy, it was a bit of a surprise to see them where they were. But they're in. Let's look at, okay, here's a positive. Good job, committee. Wichita State's a 4 seed.
Woo!
Okay, they're not a 10 seed. And what a difference, I guess, changing conferences makes.
It certainly does.
Was that the big difference, do you think, or was Wichita State 6 seeds better than they were last year?
I think it's all about the schedule.
Yeah.
I
think so.
The strength of schedule for the Shockers was top 30, top 35 for the season. And when you compare that to the previous years in the Valley, where it was maybe top 100 if we were lucky, and so we just had so many more top 50 opponents, top 100 opponents, that all those wins add up. And although the Shockers haven't had a lot of top 25 wins, it didn't matter because they had so many other great other wins.
Yeah. Let's break down that area there of Wichita State. We know they got Marshall first round. They're the 4 seed, so second round they would play the 5 seed, and that's a tough draw. And it would likely be West Virginia. West Virginia's got to play Murray State, who's the 12 seed, and that 12-5 is not a guarantee for the favorite, for sure. And then looming there then in the Sweet 16 would be the 1 seed out of there, which would be Villanova. So is this a tough one? Is this an easy one? How do you break this down, at least up through the Sweet 16?
I tell you what, if you would have asked me before the bracket was released, what teams would you not want the Shockers to face? Both West Virginia and Villanova would have been on my list.
Yeah, that's tough.
Just because these are two great teams with tremendous guards. West Virginia, or Press Virginia as they're known.
Yeah, exactly.
They really press you the entire game. And so you have to have great ball carriers. You have to have great guards that don't turn the ball over. And that's one area of concern that we have seen, especially against top defenses like Cincinnati or Houston.
I think we're gonna in a future episode we're gonna have to break that down. Talk about Wichita State's guard play, the backcourt, and what needs to happen. We'll dive specifically into that Marshall game in a future episode. But yeah, that's what the Shockers have to do. Second round, facing a 5 seed, that's a tough draw. And then Sweet 16 would be a potential 1 seed. So, but you got to play these teams eventually.
That's true.
in the tournament. There is no easy path. There's no such thing.
And
as
there
an
are
easy
always
path.
upsets. So
There is. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the upset. So everybody looks for that upset. Give me an upset pick that jumps out to you. Don't give me a 9-8. Don't give me a 10-7. Those are not real upsets. Give me something that's at least double digits with at least an 11-6. What do you see out there as a potential upset pick?
I have 2.
Okay.
One's realistic. One is far-fetched.
I'm going to do that too.
But I'm going to throw that out there anyway.
Yeah.
The realistic one is Murray State over West Virginia.
Hey,
And
that'd be nice.
This would, in theory, help the Shockers.
Yeah.
But Murray State, they've won 13 straight games.
Have they?
They are a top 60 on Ken Palm.
Okay.
And so this is an opponent that I didn't want to see the Shockers
They're
get
12
faced up
seed.
with
Yeah.
in the first match. And so West Virginia is a tremendous team, but I see this as a possibility.
Okay.
And as my sort of far-fetched one,
Okay.
I want to go on record here saying
Okay.
that if a 16 seed
Oh, come on.
were
Oh, come
give me a
on.
minute, were to beat a 1 seed, I think this would be the year to do it.
Okay.
And
Who? Are you picking one?
I
You
am,
gotta pick
yes.
one. All right, who?
I'm not picking it.
Yes, you are. Go.
I'm saying it's more likely than not.
Okay.
Not more likely than not. That's a bad way to phrase it. My upset is Penn over Kansas.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm not doing that because I'm a Wichita State
Yes,
fan.
you are.
I'm doing that because Penn is ranked in the top 120 on KenPom. And when you historically look at 16 seeds,
Okay.
they're 150, 200, 300, and up. And so, as someone who's been following KenPom numbers in
Apparently,
the bracket
you
for
know
years
that,
now,
yeah.
this is a team that's ranked higher than Memphis on KenPom.
Are they?
And so Memphis nearly beat Cincinnati
They
this
did.
past
That was
weekend.
close. Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying Penn's going to win, but if KU can't make threes, which is what their team relies on, I think it's a possibility.
Free throws. Okay, that would be amazing. I'd be fine with that happening. It's not gonna. Okay, but I asked you.
I said
asked you for a
far-fetched.
crazy one. Okay,
I
here's where I'm
prefaced it.
going.
Yes, let's hear it.
My realistic one, the 12-5 seeds, the 12-5 matchup. There's always an upset there. Historically,
Yes,
there's
that's
always
true.
an upset there. I look at Ohio State, South Dakota State. We're very familiar with South Dakota State. Played pretty well against the Shockers early
Yeah.
in the season, even though Wichita State won that game. Ohio State and just the Big Ten in general, I'm not very high on this year. It was down, especially to Big Ten standards. So I think, you look at Purdue, you look at Ohio State, I think they're seeded probably better than they should have been. And so I look for that one as my realistic upset pick. And it's in Boise. Ohio State's got to go all the way to Boise to face South Dakota State. South Dakota State is not close to Boise, but closer
It is.
than Ohio. So that's the one. My big one, and it's probably not going to happen, I would love to see Lipscomb. Lipscomb has never been in the tournament, and they won their conference, Sun Belt, I think. But they're in Nashville, the small school in Nashville, and they're playing North Carolina. And I would love to see the big. And it's
That
a
would be
2-15.
amazing, yes.
That would be amazing. It would help Houston potentially. Houston is in that bracket too. We mentioned them. Houston's a 6 seed. They're better than a 6 seed. That disappointed me a little bit. They have a really tough one. They would face Michigan as a 3 seed in the second round, and then probably North Carolina. So that's a tough
Or
one
Lipscomb.
for them. Or Lipscomb, if it happens. And then even if they get past then Xavier would be the 1 seed in that region. So, yeah, I love this time of year. It's fun to pick those things. We'll see if that happens. Do you realize what would happen if that 16, if Penn comes and beats KU? This video would go viral. It'd be awesome. Hey, what's your picks? What's your upset picks? What do you think is going to happen in the bracket? Let us know on Twitter at Shockerland, on the Facebook page as well. You can find us there at Shockerland and at shockerland.com. Thanks for watching. Fill out your brackets. Have some fun. It's March Madness.